Have you ever waited for someone? Waited so long that doubt began to creep in? Imagine waiting at the foot of a mountain. Not just any mountain. A mountain that trembles and smokes. A mountain covered in a thick, dark cloud. This was Mount Sinai, the mountain of God. The entire nation of Israel was camped at its base. They had seen incredible things. They had witnessed miracles. They had escaped slavery in Egypt. They had crossed the Red Sea on dry land. Now, they were in the vast, silent desert, waiting. Their leader, Moses, was up on that mysterious mountain, hidden from their sight, speaking with God himself. The days turned into weeks. 40 days and 40 nights passed. The top of the mountain was still alight with what looked like a consuming fire. What was happening up there? Was Moses even still alive? The silence from the mountain was deafening. It was a silence filled with uncertainty and growing fear. The people who had been so recently delivered from bondage were now feeling lost and abandoned. They had followed Moses out of Egypt, trusting his leadership and the power of the unseen God he served. But now, their leader was gone, and their patience was wearing dangerously thin. The air at the base of the mountain grew thick with whispers. Anxious murmurs turned into loud complaints. "Where is this Moses, the man who brought us up out of Egypt?" they asked. "As for him, we do not know what has happened to him." They craved something tangible, something they could see and touch, a leader they could follow right now. This was a critical moment, a turning point for the nation of Israel, leading to a dramatic confrontation that would change their relationship with God forever. Welcome back to Bible Stories and Chronicles channel. If you like to hear beautiful stories from Bible, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. This will be very meaningful to us, thank you. The 40 days felt like an eternity. For the Israelites camped in the valley, the mountain had become a source of dread. The pillar of cloud and fire was a constant, terrifying reminder of a power they could not comprehend. But their leader, Moses, was gone. The whispers of doubt that had started weeks ago now grew into a roar of panic. The people, restless and afraid, gathered together and surged towards the tent of Aaron, Moses' brother. "Come, make us gods who will go before us," they demanded. "As for this fellow Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." Aaron stood before the frantic mob. He was a leader, but he was not Moses. Instead of reminding them of the God who had split the sea and rained manna from heaven, he gave in to their demand. He made a fateful decision, not of strength, but of appeasement. "Take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing," he commanded. The people obeyed quickly, almost eagerly. There was a flurry of activity as families stripped themselves of their precious jewelry. They handed over their gold to Aaron, a glittering pile of earrings and ornaments, a symbol of their wealth and their past. With a mound of gold before him, Aaron went to work. He took the donated earrings and melted them down in a fire. He then fashioned it, shaping the glowing liquid with a tool. As the metal cooled and hardened, a figure began to emerge. A calf, a young bull. When the people saw the finished statue, a golden calf shimmering in the desert sun, a great cheer erupted from the camp.
"These are your gods, O Israel," they proclaimed, "who brought you up out of the land of Egypt."
Tomorrow is to be a festival to the Lord.
The next day the people rose early. They brought burnt offerings and fellowship offerings to the altar before the calf. After the solemn ceremonies were over, the camp descended into chaos. The scripture says they sat down to eat and drink and got up to indulge in revelry. At the foot of God's holy mountain, the people of Israel danced and reveled before a silent golden god they had made with their own hands. While the party raged in the valley below, a very different scene was unfolding on the summit of Mount Sinai. Up in the thick cloud, in the fiery presence of God, Moses was unaware of the betrayal. It was God himself who broke the news, and his words were filled with a divine and terrible anger. "Go down," God told Moses, "because your people whom you brought up out of Egypt have become corrupt." God described the scene to Moses in stark detail. He saw it all. The calf, the offerings, the revelry. "They have been quick to turn away from what I commanded them," God said. "They have made themselves an idol cast in the shape of a calf. Now leave me alone so that my anger may burn against them and that I may destroy them. Then I will make you into a great nation," he promised Moses. But Moses, in this critical moment, revealed the heart of a true leader. He did not accept God's offer. Instead, he began to plead with God. "O Lord," he cried, "why should your anger burn against your people, whom you brought out of Egypt with great power and a mighty hand?" He appealed not to the people's worthiness, but to God's own honor and glory. He brought God's own promises back to him, and incredibly, it worked. The scripture says that God relented and did not bring on his people the disaster he had threatened. With the people spared from immediate destruction, Moses turned and went down the mountain. In his hands, he carried the 2 tablets of the testimony, written by the very finger of God. When Moses finally reached the camp and saw the golden calf and the people dancing around it, his own anger burned hot. In a visceral display of righteous fury, he threw the stone tablets from his hands, shattering them at the foot of the mountain. It was a powerful symbol. The covenant was broken. Their relationship with God was shattered. Moses then seized the calf they had been worshipping. He burned it in the fire, grinding the golden idol into a fine powder. He then scattered the dust on the water and made the Israelites drink it. It was a humiliating and bitter punishment. He forced them to ingest the very thing they had worshipped, to physically consume the evidence of their sin and foolishness. The consequences of their impatience were just beginning to unfold, and their leader, Moses, was now back among them, not as a deliverer, but as an instrument of judgment. God spoke to Moses again, his voice new and chilling. "Leave this place, you and the people you brought up out of Egypt." God delivered the devastating blow. He would send an angel before them to clear the way. "But I will not go with you. You are a stiff-necked people. I might destroy you on the way." The people heard and began to mourn. Reality crashed down. They had traded the presence of the living God for a lifeless idol, and now faced a journey without him. In grief, they stripped off their ornaments. It was a public act of mourning and shame. From that day on, no one wore ornaments. In this time of crisis and distance, Moses took a decisive action. He took a tent and pitched it outside the camp, a significant distance away. He called it the tent of meeting. Whenever Moses went out to the tent, a remarkable thing happened. Every person would rise at their tent entrance, eyes fixed on Moses as he walked the long path. As soon as Moses entered the tent, the pillar of cloud that had led the nation would descend to the entrance. Upon seeing the pillar of cloud, reverence swept through the camp. All the people rose and worshipped. Inside the tent, an astonishing relationship unfolded. The Lord spoke to Moses face to face as one speaks to a friend. During one of these intimate conversations, Moses began to plead his case before God once more. "You have been telling me, 'Lead these people,' but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. If you are pleased with me," he said, "teach me your ways so I may know you and continue to find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people." The Lord replied, "My presence will go with you and I will give you rest." "If your presence does not go with us," Moses declared, "do not send us up from here. What else will distinguish me and your people from all the other people on the face of the earth? I will do the very thing you have asked," the Lord said, "because I am pleased with you and I know you by name." Emboldened by this incredible success, Moses made his most audacious request yet. "Now show me your glory," he asked. God's answer was both a gracious acceptance and a necessary protection. "But," he said, "you cannot see my face, for no one may see me and live. I will put you in a cleft in the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will remove my hand and you will see my back, but my face must not be seen." The Lord gave Moses a simple command: chisel out 2 stone tablets like the first ones. This time, Moses himself had to prepare the stones. "Be ready in the morning," he said, "and then come up on Mount Sinai. No one is to come with you." As Moses stood on the mountaintop, holding the newly chiseled tablets, the Lord descended in the cloud. As God passed in front of Moses, he proclaimed his name: the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished.
Hearing this, Moses immediately bowed and worshipped. "O Lord, if I have found favor in your eyes, then let the Lord go with us. Forgive our wickedness and our sin, and take us as your inheritance."
And God agreed, "I am making a covenant with you." For 40 days and 40 nights Moses was with the Lord, and the Lord wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. When the 40 days were over, Moses came down from Mount Sinai, but he was carrying something else too, something he was completely unaware of. As he descended the mountain, the skin of his face was radiant. When Aaron and the people of Israel saw the light emanating from his face, they were terrified. They were afraid to come near him. Moses called out to them. He gave them all the commands that the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. After he finished speaking to them, Moses put a veil over his face. From then on, a new routine was established. Whenever Moses went into the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord, he would remove the veil. But when he came out to tell the Israelites what he had been commanded, he would put the veil back on. The people would see the radiant skin of his face, a constant shining reminder of their leader's unique relationship with God. The shining face of Moses became a living symbol of the glory of God and the need for a mediator. The story of the golden calf is a powerful mirror reflecting a tendency deep in the human heart. It asks us, where do we build golden calves today? What do we turn to when God feels distant or silent? Wealth, success, our own abilities. Anything elevated above God becomes an idol. The bitter drink Moses made them swallow is a potent symbol. Worship false things and you consume bitter consequences. In the midst of this failure, the figure of Moses stands out as a profound example of true leadership. He chose his people over himself. His plea, "If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here," teaches us that the ultimate goal is not just reaching a destination, but maintaining a close relationship with the divine. Moses shows us a different model of leadership, one of humility, selfless love, and a desperate dependence on God. Ultimately, the drama of Exodus is a story of incredible grace and second chances. Despite humanity's profound ability to fail, God's character is one of abounding love and faithfulness. His compassion is greater than our rebellion. The light that shone on Moses' face is a promise of the transformation that is possible for all who turn away from their idols and seek the face of the one true and forgiving God. We will continue with another beautiful story from Bible in our next video. If you have not, please subscribe to this channel to help us to grow these contents to wider audience. Thanks for watching.